Good evening, this is Paco, and welcome to 30 Minutes of Madness. Tonight, from Season 12, The Voice, we have South Jersey's own Dawson, Coyle!
Welcome to 30 Minutes of Madness. Here it's your girl, Millie Maddness on Quinn Broadcasting, and I'm here with a very special guest, okay? None other than Dawson Coyle from The Voice. Welcome to the show, Dawson.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing really well. Really
good.
Love to be here.
It's an honor having you on the show. So let's get this party started. We want to know all about you. Take us on a little journey of how it was when growing up. How did you decide to get into this music industry? And what are some of your influences as you grown up?
Yeah,
that you were listening to.
Yeah, I wasn't like a born prodigy, right? I grew up listening to like some musicals and stuff with my dad. And around the age of like 12, I was homeschooled, so I was part of like this homeschool co-op group. And they had guitar lessons, and I was like, oh, I want to learn guitar. It'll be fun. So I took 10 weeks. And they wanted to do like an end program, and they needed like 3 vocalists, and only 2 people raised their hand. So I look out, and my mom's like, raise your hand, raise your hand. And I was like, oh, okay. So I raised my hand. I didn't know how to sing. I sing like VeggieTales and like High School Musical in the car. So I ended up singing. It was like really bad because I was like 12. I didn't know what I was doing. But I just ended up loving it. I was like, I need to practice more. I want to do more with this. So I kept practicing, learning chords, learning different songs, learning different covers. And then I started doing like cafes and worship, things like that. And it's been really cool. I started with cafes. I was opening up for some local artists, and then local artists were opening up for me. And then, just like one thing led to another, and I just fell more and more in love with music.
That's awesome.
It's been incredible. So influencers, I'm really in love with like 21 Pilots and their vibe. It's just kind of like that rap, and then kind of like indie punk kind of stuff. I'm not punk, but and then just some other like just pop, soul, funk artists that are like really influential in my life. Jimmy Needham, Lita Wise, he was on American Idol like years ago, like 9 years ago, I want to say. It was crazy. But they're like huge influencers on me, just got me into music, and just kept going.
What do you consider your genre? Like, what is your thing?
It's like a pop, soul, rock, indie mix. It's like kind of in there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how old were you when you got started in American Idol? The Voice.
It's okay.
So sorry.
It's all good.
The Voice.
Yeah, so I was 17 when I got started on The Voice, and it went all the way till when I was 18 through the process of recording and that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
So it was like a whole year of traveling to LA and living there for like 3 months and like doing that kind of stuff. It was crazy.
Yeah, how was that experience? It's like, I could imagine it was intense because this was probably from just doing kind of local cafes to like
it was ridiculous.
LA.
I went there and I was like, oh, I'm a local Jersey boy. Like, what am I doing in LA, California? Like, So I went there and like it was funny because like 80% of the artists like on The Voice, like with me, were like from LA, California, or like Georgia or Nashville or like Tennessee, like all those areas that are like big city music. And I'm just like, I'm from Jersey.
Yeah.
And they're all like, hey, Joyzy boy. I'm like, we don't talk like that here. Like we're more like Southern Jersey, Philly kind of style, you know? But no, I was definitely like out of my comfort zone. I was outside of my comfort zone. I was just like, wow, this is like legit. Like I'm not messing around. I'm not doing like a coffee house anymore. So I just fell in love with it. I just like dove into it head first. Worked with amazing people, learned so much. Like The Voice, they show you like on stage, but they don't show you all the training they actually give you. Like it's ridiculous how much I learned on there.
Wow. Yeah. And I can imagine the people that you met. I mean, do you still keep in touch with some of them?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Like I flew back to LA
oh, that's the thing.
Year.
Now it's like,
LA
is like your second home now.
I want to go there. I definitely want to go there more than I have been. But I went there. We did like a benefit concert for like one of my friends' schools, and we were able to meet up and do that kind of stuff. They come here. My East Coast friends, I get to meet up with them like in Florida and that kind of stuff. Yeah. And it's just really cool having these friends. Like they're invited to our weddings now. It's like it's really cool how we all just bonded and became like these friends. Because you're in a hotel with them for like 3 months. You know what I mean? It's like it's huge. It's you're making these friends. They're your neighbors.
Definitely, you're building these relationships, and they last long, which is awesome. I think that's such an amazing experience. I mean, the voice is something that many people only dream about or only will ever just watch it on TV,
Yeah.
but you were actually there. So I can't even imagine that intensity as you're on stage and you're like, you know that this is being watched like
Yeah,
all
like
over.
10
and then
million
you have,
people. It's like,
wow,
it's crazy.
10 million.
That's like their average
That's-
viewer. Yeah.
That's
It's-
insane. So how was the nerve situation?
So I don't get stage fright like that much anymore. Like I used
Right,
to, but
right.
like standing backstage with like the producers and they're like
Yeah.
holding the door and they're like on the walkie-talkies. Like
Yeah.
I've learned to do things that like calm my nerves. So I'm just like doing jumping jacks. Like I'm just
Right.
jumping up and down. I'm like breathing. I'm like, oh, I gotta breathe. Like gotta get out there. But like once those doors open, you like black out and you just sing the song that you've been practicing for months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like boom. It's
Yeah.
like it's like muscle memory.
Showtime.
So I just shut off my nerves when the doors open. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna sing what I practice. And hope it goes
Yeah.
well, and it did. So
Yeah, because that's one of the things that I try to ask, just so our audience can pick up maybe some tips or tricks to calm the nerves, because
Yeah.
that's a big issue. Whether you're, even in a smaller stage, but more so when you get to the big time. So like, kind of
Yeah.
what kind of things people do just to kind of calm the
Yeah,
nerves. So you do jumping jacks.
for me
and
personally,
stuff?
like I love just having headphones in,
Yeah.
just listening to your favorite music,
Yeah.
listening to the song. Like what I do is I'll listen to my favorite music and then I'll throw in the song I'm gonna be singing. So it's just kind of like nonchalant. It's like in there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I'm listening to it. It's like, all right, I know what it is now. The biggest thing to have confidence with is what you're doing on stage. So if you're not confident, if you haven't rehearsed like what you're doing and you haven't gone over those songs in your set list like countless times, you're going to be nervous. But if you've practiced these songs over and over and over and over and over again until it's just muscle memory, you'll go on there and be like, oh, it's just like what I've been doing.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest advice as an artist is like know what you're doing. If you're going on stage, know what you're doing. Don't just go up there and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna mess around. But like you can get to the point now that you've had enough songs under your belt. Like I've gotten to that point where I can just go on stage and be like, all right, these are the songs I'm gonna sing. And then maybe if I have like a couple more, I'll throw those in because I've built that songbook in my head that I can just play them on command. And when you get there, you just like you lose your nerves. You're like, all right, I'm just gonna be able to do that. But like physical things like do jumping jacks or like just hop or like run around a bit, just like something to kind of get your blood pumping. And it'll kind of like counteract that adrenaline. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So when you went out there, now every artist's biggest wish is like, okay, now that I made it this far, please someone turn around, like someone pick me, someone, and that's like the biggest turning point I think of anyone's career goes there. It's like
huge.
That's the moment of truth, whether someone really is digging your music and connecting with your music or not. So it's great. So what was that like?
Yeah, so it was terrifying. They give you like I think it's like a minute 20 or something like that, like of the song. So I am singing the song. I'm doing it. It's Happiness by Need to Breathe, and I'm just singing it. I'm singing my heart out. No one's turning around, but I hear the audience clapping. I'm like, all right. They tell you do not look at the chairs, like don't look at the chairs, like the backs of the chairs. Yeah. Because when they turn around, a lot of people get like shaken up. You know what I mean? They start to like, they turn around. Or they don't turn around and they're still getting shaken up. Like, please turn around. So they tell you, don't look at the chairs. Focus like above the chairs. So I'm focusing above the chairs. I'm singing out to the audience. I'm like having fun. And I'm like, I got to the first verse and the chorus and then the bridge. And I'm like, nobody's turning around. I'm like, oh my goodness. So then I'm singing the last chorus, which has like these super high notes in it, right? So I end the song on this really, really high note that like I struggled to hit the whole time. And I finally like the night before I was like, oh, I got it with ease now. I've like trained my vocal cords. Like I strengthened the muscles. So there are 5 seconds left to the song and I'm hitting these high notes, right? And then Blake looks at Gwen and makes her look that way because Gwen was about to hit her buzzer. And then she looks that way and then Blake hits the button. Like 5 minutes to like the song or 5 seconds to the song end, and like my heart was just like, oh, like, thank God, like that was That was it. Like,
man.
it was so stressful. But then I was singing the song and I'm thinking in my head, which is cool because I've learned the song so well that I was like, I can think and talk to myself while I'm singing, right? So I'm sitting there,
multitasking.
I'm standing there, I'm singing, and I was like, nobody's turning around. I'm like, you know what? It's okay. Like, I made it this far. I learned a lot. So I'm talking to myself, I'm pep talking myself. I'm like, it's fine. Like, you know what? I learned a lot. So I'm not going to be hurt that they're not turning around. And then he turned around and it even made it more special. I was like,
oh my God.
It was incredible. It was incredible. Yeah.
That had to be so incredible. I mean, I can't even imagine the intensity. Because one thing is just being on stage and having an audience, but another thing is just having that superstar, that big artist,
big name artist, like
with you. Like, I want to work with him, and it's so like, cool.
Oh my gosh,
it kind of just. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. No, it was,
I'm just assuming like it's
undescribable. Like it's just like because I grew up watching The Voice.
With you, I'm like, wow, that's just so intense.
I grew up like watching The Voice, and like the people would turn around. I'm like, oh, like I wish I could get there. Like I want to be there. I never thought it would be possible. I'm from South Jersey. Like you don't just like wake up and be like, oh, I'm going to like LA to be on The Voice and sing in front of Blake Shelton. You know what I mean? So it was really crazy. I'm not a country artist, but you know Blake was a really cool coach. And then, you know, the second round came in, which was like a whole nother situation, which was awesome.
So now you got to go. So now, so explain that process. So you got to go in and you got to kind of like, all right, you've worked with Blake, and then now you got to go in and see if you can.
Yeah.
Go for the, you know.
So, you know, 48 people make the teams, 12 on each team, right? So then that's the blind audition, and then it goes into the battle rounds where they partner you up with people. So then there's 6 teams of 2 on each team. So then you're singing a duet with somebody, and then your coach has to pick one of the duet that they like best. So I'm singing with this girl, Leah Mulvin, right? Yeah. So we did "Walking on Sunshine" by Katrina and the Waves.
Yeah.
So it was like
cool
it was so like I was not expecting when they were like sitting us down. They were like, "All right, here are the songs we're doing," and then I was just like, "Walking on Sunshine." I'm like, what the heck? So you know, we had to we lowered it like a half step for me, give me a little grace. You know what I mean? Because it's not meant for a guy to sing.
Right.
So like it was so much fun to sing, but you know I ended up not winning, and I was like, all right, you know what? Like I got a chair turned. I worked with Blake Shelton. I worked with Luke Bryan. Luke Bryan was the mentor, so I was like, this is fine. I had a blast. So I was hugging Blake goodbye. Also, Blake's like 6'7". He's huge. He's so freaking tall. He's so tall. It's him and Luke Bryan are like skyrockets, right? It's crazy.
Wow.
So like I'm hugging him, I'm like this, right? So because I'm like 5'8", 5'9", I'm like average height of a guy, right? So I'm hugging him like this, and then I see at the corner of my eye, and Alicia's like, so Alicia, each coach can steal 2 people during the battle rounds. So I was stolen by Alicia Keys, and I was like, oh my gosh. And in my opinion, people who lost the battle round and got stolen have it better than the person that won because they get to work with 2 coaches. You know what I mean? They get to work with the first person, and then if they get stolen, they get to work with a second coach. So I got to work with Alicia Keys. And it was like, oh my, she's like the queen of like.
What, are you kidding me?
Soul.
It's
like, oh my god, I know. She's such like a genuine person. Like off camera.
She seems that way. She seems like her soul is just so beautiful.
Off camera, she's the same as she is on.
Oh
and
man, I was hoping you'd say that.
It's so cool to see those genuine people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's not always that way. But I just feel her. Like I don't know.
She's a vibe.
Like her vibe that she gives off is so cool.
Gwen's the same way. Gwen's the same way.
Oh man, that's cool. She's awesome too. I love her.
Yeah, you're awesome.
Man, so it was just incredible. So we're gonna take a quick commercial break, but I'm so into this. We're definitely gonna find out more. When we come back after these messages, we're gonna find out more of Dawson Coyle and his journey on The Voice and all the great things that have happened to him in his journey. So we're so excited. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Do you have all your ducks in a row? Ensuring those possessions which are important to you will give you peace of mind.
Hi, I'm George Castellini, president of Beyond the Insurance Agency. We've been serving our community since 1973. I invite you to come down, meet our friendly staff for all your insurance needs.
The staff at Beyond Insurance is knowledgeable and friendly. All it takes is a telephone call. We'll help you get your ducks in a row. Call George Castellini or one of the professionals at Beyond the Insurance Agency. At the end of the day, you'll be glad you did.
Welcome back to 30 Minutes of Madness. Here's your girl, Millie Maddness on Quinn Broadcasting. And I am here with none other than Dawson Coyle. And we're having such a great conversation, recapping and reliving that moment on The Voice. It's super intense. I'm having such a great time with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what kind of plans do you have? First, I don't want to skip the part where we left off that now you're working with Alicia Keys. Yeah. And that had to be a great experience.
It really was.
Because, I mean, she is iconic. Mm-hmm. And how was the difference in coaching and in style?
Yeah, you know, Blake was very, I don't want to say technical with vocals, but he was very like, this is like how you need to come across with it, and this is how it's like, you know, you should sound and add this little flavor and add this. He said like my voice had a lot of herbs and spices. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's kind of like a country thing, I guess. But Alicia was more like, how do you relate to this song? Like, how do you, like, why are you connected to it? You know what I mean? So she was very like on like a mental basis, you know, so it was a different, you know, training, two different kinds of training. Right. One was very technical with vocals. One was very like, you know, feeling, like, how are you feeling? It's like, what's the vibe of this? So I ended up losing my knockout round. Mm-hmm. So it was top 32, but like that, it was such an amazing experience. To say top 32 on The Voice, like, is incredible. Like the amount of hundreds of thousands of people that like have auditioned, it's like such a blessing. I never expected to win. I never like wanted to win. I just kind of, because it's a lot of stress. But I wanted to just kind of like enjoy the ride, go as long as I can without that stress. Yeah. And I'm just like, it's such a blessing. Such a blessing. It was awesome.
That is so awesome. Yeah. And you know, you really represented and put us on the map. So thank you so much.
I'm trying. Like South Jersey, definitely. We're out here. Like, it's not just happening over there.
Definitely put us on the map, which is awesome. So what do you want to do next? Like, what's your thing?
Yeah, so I'm passionate. Like, I'm so passionate about like what I want to do. I just want to release more music. That's like the big thing. Like, I want to make more original music, record it, produce it myself, you know, get it out there for people. I want to, you know, do some covers for fun. I want to, you know, just expand my music business, but I also want to branch off and do, you know, vlogging on YouTube. I want to start doing some lifestyle stuff, like just my everyday life, just promoting things, posting every day on Instagram, trying to gain my following, and just kind of build this base of people that can kind of come along for the journey of like music and vlogging and whatever else I decide to expand into. You know, my merch shop and stuff like that.
Try to get some merch, you know?
My new CD was such a success. Still promoting it, Saturn's Perspective. It was like such a crazy movement. Still have all my merch that I'm selling with it. I'm kind of branding this whole Saturn thing. Okay. And it's been such a crazy, awesome experience. I'm so pumped to like just do more. I just want to do more constantly, just get more content out there.
Do you have like a deal? Are you with a record label? Is that something that you would like to do? Or because there's some artists that kind of want to stay independent, and there's some artists that are, you know, open to maybe a deal, working with a label.
So that's where the music business has definitely like evolved over the years. Back 10-15 years ago, you needed to be signed if you wanted to be someone. You needed, because nobody had the equipment or knowledge to just like whip out a record. You know what I mean? No one was able to do that and promote it themselves. Because it like Instagram wasn't that big, and you know, Facebook was all right, and you know, people needed that physically like I need to be signed on a record label so that they can take control and do this and promote. But nowadays, with technology, with like what is available to like everyone now, and what people are now understanding of the music business, is that, you know, it's crazy to say, but like you don't need to be signed to like be someone. Like, I'm friends with like these really, really like up there artists that literally just left the record label because they're like, I can do it myself. I have producer friends. I'll just pay them. And like, or like, I'll teach myself how to record. So the knowledge is out there now. And it's like, now that people and other musicians are knowing, they're like, wait, I don't need to be signed. I don't need to get like a cut taken of my sales to do like work that I can do myself. You know what I mean? So like, obviously it works for some people. Like the higher up artists, they need to be signed. They need people to like do that. But like us down here where we're like in Jersey and that kind of stuff, you don't need a record label taking percentages out. You can make your own merch. There's so many local embroidery and printing shops out there I have this like awesome shop I go to, C Sports. They're like incredible. That's where I get my merch from.
Nice.
And like I'll
Awesome.
give them a little plugger there.
Yeah, no, that's so cool that you did that.
But like
plugging
the
in
local
businesses.
aspects now, where you can get a MacBook, you can get Logic Pro, go on YouTube, how to produce a song on Logic Pro, and spend 10 hours on YouTube and learn the ins and outs of it, or like look up guides. And there's so much knowledge out there that you can gather yourself. The best advice I have ever received in my music business, it's by a Christian rapper. His name is Derek Minor. We picked him up from the airport. He was doing a concert, and I was like just starting out. I was like 14, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And I was like, Derek, like, do you have any advice for me?
Yeah.
He was like, do not pay someone to do something you can learn yourself. He was like, it's a waste of money. He was like, yeah, it'll take more time, it'll take more stress, but teach yourself, do it yourself, and save money so that you can further grow. And I was like, okay. So I took that knowledge and I just research. YouTube is like my best friend.
YouTube
like,
University.
It is incredible. Like just learning everything on there. And then what I can't learn on YouTube, I can learn on forums and guides. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I am open to a record deal. I am open to getting signed, but it would have to be like this particular deal to like for that to happen. You know what I mean? If they're just going to offer things that I can do myself, you know, even though they're dedicating that to that, I can do it myself and I don't have to get a percentage cut, you know, because like everything matters. When you're like a local musician and you're trying to like, you know, break out, you're trying to grow that fan base, every little bit helps that you can just kind of add to it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So that's kind of where I stand with that.
Absolutely. Which is great. And I think that you're right. The times have evolved and there are a lot of things. But in turn, do you have any advice for people that are just starting and want to get in the industry and they may not even know, you know, where to begin, or is there anything that you can kind of give them a little advice?
Yeah, so there's advice that I try to keep to as well. It's you know, take every opportunity. And that's what I struggle with sometimes. You know, I get pride in the way. I'm like, I don't want to take that opportunity, or they're not paying, or like this happens. And that's like my flesh and like my pride. I'm like, stop. Like, it's going to be good. It's going to be good for marketing and get up there. And like, I have to shut that pride down because it's hard when it's your career. You know what I mean? When you're like, this is how you're making your money. You kind of get like I need to take opportunities that I'm only getting paid. But then you're not realizing if you take this free gig, there could be, you know, a booking agent sitting in the audience, and all of a sudden they're like, we want to book you for this concert for 100,000 people and pay you. And you wouldn't have had that opportunity if you didn't take this free gig. You know what I mean? So there's so much potential and opportunity that can come out of these events. Take every opportunity. And if you can't get those opportunities, DM people. Just post and be like, I'm a musician, local musician, trying to get some venues booked. If you have a birthday party you want me to come play at. I started getting into entertainment by, I'm such a homeschooler, by doing balloon animals at a birthday party at like 12, 13 years old. I had a little suitcase full of balloon animals and like little pump, right? And I would just pump up the balloons and I would tie and I would just make these balloon animals for kids. I would get paid $50, $60 and that'd be it. So that's how I got into like entertainment. And all of a sudden, like I started playing guitar and I was like, do you want me to play at your birthday party? And then, you know, I would do balloon animals and then I would sing at a birthday party. I get paid like $80. I'm like, awesome, that was fun. You know what I mean? So take opportunities, get your foot in the door. You know, there's so much you can do yourself. Social media is such a powerful tool to use. And that's something that I have just recently started like actually understanding. And that's something that I'm going to be applying a lot more because I've learned a lot now.
Tell us a little bit about some of your social media so that way people can find you, your music and all that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, you can find me pretty much everywhere. Facebook, I have my main page, Dawson Coyle. I also have like a personal account for just my personal life. But my main platform is Instagram right now. You can find me at Dawson Coyle Official, all one word. I just changed it. I took the underscores out because it looked a little clunky. Anyway, Dawson Coyle Official on Instagram, also www.dawsoncoyle.com. You can find my merch there, all my information. I book all my concert dates. I post all my concert dates on my Facebook and Instagram page. Snapchat, Dawson_music. And YouTube, definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting a lot more. I have a bunch of covers, a bunch of originals on there, as well as vlogs. I'm going to be vlogging a lot more too. So follow me and subscribe to me at Dawson Coyle. I think that's everywhere. My music is also wherever you get your music, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, Pandora.
Okay.
I think that's it. A couple more maybe.
Can they find it
Yeah.
under Dawson Coyle?
Yeah, Dawson Coyle.
Okay.
Just type in Dawson
Cool.
Coyle, it'll come up. My voice performances are on a lot of those, as well as my latest album, Saturn's Perspective. So if you type in Dawson Coyle, Saturn's Perspective, it should pop up.
Okay, and that's your
yeah,
latest.
that's my latest album.
Okay.
10 songs. I produced and recorded it myself.
Nice.
In my little studio room in my house.
Nice. Okay, okay.
and
So
yeah,
you have
it's
your own
awesome.
studio and you do your own thing.
Yeah, so I just gutted a room in my house and made it a studio. It's called Saturn Studios. You can
Okay.
find the Facebook page, Saturn Studios on Facebook.
Okay. There you go.
And I've opened it up now to clients. If you want to record, if you want to come by and just try to record something, maybe a little demo for Mother's Day, maybe a little something for your mom or dad or for your wife, or if you're just trying to record something, come stop by. You can find it on Facebook or just DM me on any of my other platforms and we'll get it going.
Check him out, Dawson Coyle, on all his social media. Follow him, support local artists, and we're gonna give you a little taste of Dawson and his amazing talent right here on 30 Minutes of Madness. We'll be right back with live performance here by Dawson Coyle. Thank you so much for tuning in on Quinn Broadcasting. It's your girl Millie Maddness here on 30 Minutes of Madness. See you soon.
If you move to Malibu, just let me tie my shoes or I'd run to you. I'd run to you, I'd run to you. If you moved away to LA, I hope there's room for me to stay. Oh, I'd run to you, I'd run to you, I'd run to you. I'd cross the oceans and rivers, the swamps and the lakes, mountains and valleys to get to your place. You are home for me, you are home for me. There's no distance I could run to make me quit and say I'm done. Oh, I'd run to you, I'd push right through and run to you. Even on my darkest nights, oh, your love is my guiding light. Oh, I'd run to you. Through darkness too, I'd run to you. If you traveled up to the moon, baby, I'll see you soon. Or I'd fly to you, I'd fly to you, I'd fly to you. If you travel back in time, well, just watch as I press rewind. I'll build a time machine, run it on gasoline, my time machine. I'd cross the oceans and rivers, the swamps and the lakes, mountains and valleys to get to your place. You are home for me, you are home for me. There's no distance I could run to make me quit and say I'm done. Oh, I'd run to you, I'd push right through and run to you. Even on my darkest nights, oh, your love is my guiding light. Oh, I'd run to you. Through darkness too, I'd run to you. I'd cross the oceans and rivers, the swamps and the lakes, mountains and valleys to get to your place. Cities and deserts and every which way, planets, dimensions, even time and space. Oceans and rivers, the swamps and the lakes, mountains and valleys to get to your place. Cities and deserts and every which way, planets, dimensions, even time and space. There's no distance I could run to make me quit and say I'm done. Oh, I'd run to you, I'd push right through and run to you. Even on my darkest nights, oh, your love is my guiding light. Oh, I'd run to you. Through darkness too, I'd run to you. Take a step back, don't be scared. We'll see the world in different colors. Hope the enemies are prepared. I'm marching on like the rolling thunder.